All right, hello and welcome everyone to the pilot of Pacer post game report. This was game three of the NBA Finals. I just thought about, I was like, hey, why not go through the post game report for somebody that's like, hey, we're Pacers fans. We don't get the coverage we deserve. Um, so I just kind of wanted to give us the recognition we deserve. Pacers end up winning 116 to 107. Uh, Coming from a Pacers fan, I thought game two was was kind of it. It was like, all right, hey, we're 1-1. We didn't look great. We had, we kind of came back from the dead in game one, stole it. And I was like, all right, game three is going to be the tell of if Rick could figure out what was going on here. And it looks like he did. And a lot of it came from the bench. All right. So 116 to 107 against the Thunder at home, game three. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box score here. So the biggest things that jump out to me, okay? Thunder had Chet, Jalen Williams, and SGA. Those were the three big guys. Lou Dort had a big game minute wise, maybe not point wise, but the things I want to highlight here. SGA 24 points, okay? 9 for 20 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, only 6 free throw attempts. If the Pacers are able to minimize that, they're going to be in a good position here. Okay. And a lot of that was because Andrew Nemhard did not give in, did not fall for the fakes. Okay. A lot of flopping around, falling around. And honestly, I'm going to be honest. Maybe it's not flopping. Sometimes he exaggerates, but sometimes, right? It is him just trying to make that extra play. There was a play, I believe, in the third quarter where he puts his shoulder into Shepard and falls to the ground. That play gets called 10 out of 10 times in the regular season, but the referees did a really good job at just stopping it. They're like, hey, like you initiated all that contact and you kind of fell down and it was a bit soft. Plus, Shepard also just went in a straight line. So that was huge. So, okay, 24 points from him. Jalen Williams, 26 on 9 for 18. And Chet with 20 for 6 for 15. 10 rebounds for him. That's a pretty nice night, right? No blocks, turnover. Okay. He was their only guy out of those three that ended up being positive in the plus negatives. I thought Chet played well. Um, give him his props. Jalen Williams is just very consistent in SGA. I'm going to be honest. Okay. I think SGA is a very good player, but 9 for 20 just isn't the MVP. Okay. And I don't know if Thunder fans think a bit different here, but to me personally, 9 for 20 is not the MVP. It's just like what he did was not impressive. And it almost looks like he's relying on the free throws. And the Pacers defense is hounding him, right? He is their focal point. So that's tough. You see that with Tyrese. Um, but you would really hope because nobody else took double digit shots. Dort went 4 for 8, and those four came from the three ball, ended up with 12 points. He hounded Tyrese, so I'm sure he was tired, dead tired. Um, is it Kason Williams? Okay. Didn't really do much, 7 points, 3 for 5. Honestly, I'm just watching the game. Didn't really pick him up much. Caruso had a lot of minutes out there, 32 points, 32 minutes, 8 points, minus 15. He's just like a tenacious defender. Um, I wish there was like, I guess steals counts, but I wish there was way more to be like, hey, how many turnovers did he force? 2 steals. Isaiah Joe came in, hit 2 big threes, right? And I think that covers most of the Thunder, what they did, um, and how they did it. Okay, 30 free throws you see here at the bottom. Um, with 10 for 22 and 37 for 79 in total. 17 turnovers. That's going to be a big part of it. So we go down here and we look at the box score for the Indiana Pacers. And Siakam started the night out. And again, very biased Pacer fan. So we're gonna go and we're gonna be very happy for the Pacers here. Pascal Siakam, 32 minutes, didn't get any threes to falls, but it went 8 for 14 with 6 free throws. 5 of those were made. Very like this is what we need from Siakam. Here on out, 21 points. If Siakam's going to get anywhere between 18 to 25, we're in a good position because he is that number 2 on the offense. You know, Neesmith had a lot of foul trouble early, ended up with 7, made a big 3. I thought he made another one in the corner, may have been a 2. I don't know. Um, Not his greatest game by any means, but a guy that just like contributed when he was out there. 22 minutes is not an Aaron Neesmith type of night. You would expect for game 4 that's going to be better. Miles Turner, right? I was talking to a buddy, Kyle of the Dank Squad as well. He said it was good enough tonight, and it was. 30 minutes, 3 for 11 is a bit alarming. 1 for 4 from 3, made his free throws, but 2 rebounds, an assist. Like this is the number that stands out right here. 5 blocks. Him, and we're gonna go down here to Obi Toppin with 2. Those guys affected the shots of the Thunder so much that it really turned the tide, especially late in the game. They were able to get in there. It was Chet, it was Hartenstein, it was SGA, I'm sure. I think he got blocked once as well. You know, they were the guys that when we needed that jolt of energy on the defensive end, they came through. And Miles with 5 shots, I'll say it, one of the best shot blockers in history, right? One of the most underrated defenders in the league. When it comes to that, I honestly could have seen him do more, but we're gonna let it go. Okay. Uh, Ends up -8, but hey, it was enough. 9 points. Nemhard is my guy. I think you give him the Finals MVP if they go on to win it, right? Tyrese is the star, but it's Andrew Nemhard who is guarding SGA. What seems to be 90% of the time down the court. He makes a big 3, right? And then he goes and he picks him up. He makes a 2 and he picks him up. They turn the ball over and he picks him up. Andrew Nemhard is the workhorse of this team. 33 minutes. He went 3 for 5, got a 3 ball in there, made half of his free throws, which seemed to be the Pacers' Achilles heel. But yeah, 4 rebounds, an assist, 3 turnovers, which that could be better. 5 fouls, you get 6 for a reason. Stayed in the game, 8 points plus 3. And just literally, his whole job is just to pick up SGA, Shea Gildress, and be a menace. Okay? Be the Lou Dort of the Pacers. And then we go down to the man, Tyrese Halliburton. 36 minutes, went 9 for 17, took the most shots of the night. 4 for 8 from 3, and a lot of these threes, they look like a Tyrese Halliburton 3. Coming off a screen. Tween, pull up, cash. He's the guy, right? And the Pacers go as he goes. 22 points, ends up with 11 assists, 9 rebounds, one shy of a triple double in a game where he kind of came to life. He was actually able to get this going. 4 turnovers, which I'm waiting for the no turnover game where he has 15 assists. It's coming. I believe. Ends up being +1 and just somebody who just like he finally turned it on. We'll go to the bench here. Obi Toppin with 28, had 8 points. If we could just get rid of the first quarter for Obi Toppin in every game, he may be one of the best bench players in history. Just sometimes he gets in, he chucks up something dumb, turns the ball. It's something. It's always something with Obi Toppin. But you know what? He comes in, he does the job. He actually ends up being plus 18. Our bench came through. Thomas Bryant, kind of a liability. If we're able to run it small, let's go. Because Miles is the true five, and Obi Toppin comes in to replace. Thomas Bryant, somebody that just gives Obi and Miles some blow. Possibly Obi Toppin comes out there, stays out there, and he stays at the four spot. Um, what's rough with Thomas Bryant is every time he's on SGA's drawing the foul, and it's so annoying because he just jumps right into him. Nothing you can do about it. It's whatever. TJ McConnell. This was the TJ McConnell game. Okay. He came through and played Pacer basketball. And as I was waiting for this game today, I'm sitting at my regular job and I'm like, you know what? The guys that it's either going to be Miles Turner, Indiana guy, 11 years for the Pacers, or it's going to be TJ McConnell, somebody that's like just is proves to be Indiana basketball, that grit, that toughness, the ability to get 5 steals. One of them just coming off of a Caruso inbound straight to him. That was insane. 5 assists. He was moving the ball around. He didn't turn the offense stagnant this time, and ended up being it was him and it was Benedict Mathurin. Right. Those two guys were the reason this game turned to the Pacers' favor. Okay. Ben Mathurin, 22 points or 22 minutes, 9 for 12, extremely efficient, 2 for 3, 7 for 8 from the free throw line, 27 points. I'm going to put it out there. Play this man 40 minutes, he'll get us 60 points. Okay. I am a Benedict Mathurin truther to the day I die. Right. And if he ends up leaving this team this offseason for whatever reason, I'm a Mathurin fan and he's going to go and he's going to be electric on like the Rockets. I think that's his perfect fit. So he comes in and he's just a spark plug. He's able to get these free throws that we were desperately needing. The Pacers weren't getting a whistle by any means. And he comes in and he was able to draw fouls, to make layups, to shoot the three ball. This Benedict Mathurin came through for the Pacers, and I want him first guy up. Him and Ben Shepherd. Okay, I that's who I would want to come into the game and to take over and give Mathurin. He's about the only guy on this team that is like, you know what? ISO ball. He can handle it. Everyone else runs through Tyrese. Benedict Mathurin, you can give him the ball and tell him to be the best player on the court, and he will be. And that's what I see. Every time I watch Benedict Mathurin, that's what I see. Shepard, he did great. 18 minutes came in. He ended up being the primary defender on SGA during those bench runs. Um, I really have no complaint with what he did. He's usually due for a three, so I wouldn't expect this next game. Um, but two steals. He really played some hounding defense. He got one where he just put his hand in the cookie jar and got all over it. He was like, yeah, no, 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 no. And he was a guy. So we like that. Nothing really from the other guys on the bench. You didn't really need anything. Jarris is still hurt. I hope that he comes back for game 6. I definitely don't think he'd be ready for 5. He didn't look. He's just sitting on the bench. Um, let's go ahead and look at the team stats. Right, you can kind of see what's going on here. Team stats. We'll try and keep this quick. We're at 16 minutes. I know I'll cut a bit of this. Um, field goal wise, 37 for 79, 44 for 85. Pacers end up shooting 6 more shots, making 7 more from the field, shooting over 50%. A lot of the times, that's going to win you a game. One of the rare times that the Pacers are going to get outshot from three. 10 for 22 for the Thunder. All right. 5 more 3-point shots for the Pacers, 9 for 27, 45 and 33% respectively. And then you go down and look at the free throw attempts. And I mean, 23 for 30 and 19 for 22. There's 2 points I want to make on this. There are some calls that I think the Thunder are getting, and it's like, you got to be joking. But also, like, it kind of evens out with the Pacers. 30 free throw attempts. You missed 7, right? We're going to look back up here. Kind of the difference. You know, if you're perfect, they're called free throws for a reason. Pacers went 19 for 22, only missing 3. That's what's going to create this separation, this 9-point separation up here. We dropped down, out rebounded. The Pacers have been getting out rebounded what seems like for the last forever. Because Miles Turner's the only 7-footer out there. So 42 to 36, 6 more rebounds to the Thunder. Ends up only 9 to 7 offensively, right? In the Knicks series, it always felt like this was like 15, right? We'll have to go back and check that. But the Knicks were getting more and more and more offensive rebounds. And I wonder if this is just because the Thunder make more shots. That could be true. Again, I'd have to look. But yeah, 9 to 7, 33 to 29. And then assist wise, every single Pacers game, this is how it should look, if not more. 16 to 24 assists. That's just ball movement. That is Pacer basketball. The steals finally swing to the Pacers, 6 and 13. Blocks 4 to 11. That's massive. And that's what's coming from when we go back here. Miles with 5, Obi with 2, Pascal, Neesmith, Halliburton, Matherin. Everybody's involved. And like I said, Miles and Obi were the spark plugs. So 4 to 11 in the block category. Turnovers, the Pacers finally were able to minimize that. 14 for the Pacers, 19 for the Thunder. Points conceded, we start getting the fast break going again. 21-14 allowed for the Pacers. Fast break points 10 to 17 for the Pacers. Win the points in the paint battle by 2. Okay, that kind of almost nullifies itself. And then fouls 24 to 20. Pacers end up getting 4 more fouls, but both had a lead of 9. And truly, I believe this series turns the winner of this series, the winner of each game in this series, it's going to rely on the turnover battle and the rebounds. Because even though Chet had 10 rebounds this game, he doesn't, let me get off of that. He doesn't seem to attack the boards as much as you'd want. How tall is he? 7'2", 7'1". You know, you'd expect him to give you a bit more. 10 was really good for him tonight. But if you're the Pacers, you're living with Chet getting 10 and everyone else kind of like scrambling for the rest. SGA had 8 as a 6'6" stud, you'd hope. And nobody from the Pacers had double digits either. So it's really just the Pacers minimizing the large amount of rebounds that the opposing team is going to get. And then, like I said, again, it's going to be turnovers. And this Thunder team, here's the shot chart for, I believe, the entire game. This Thunder's team is physical. They are relentless. They play defense, and it's not just 1 or 2 guys. It is everybody. I've told people one of the key factors I see is that SGA is a guy that's not afraid to get his hands in there and get a strip. So it's just minimizing those errors. Um, was happy with how the Pacers ended up figuring it out this first quarter up here. 32 to 24. I told the buddies, the rest of the dang squad, I said, hey, uh, we haven't scored 25 in the first quarter yet. And there was a couple opportunities to get up to that 25, just never came through. But that was when McConnell and Matherin and Obi, and they just came in and they were able to control the pace and get that 40 points in the second quarter. 40 to 28, 29 to 20 in the third, so another bad quarter from the Pacers, and then came out in that fourth quarter, and it appeared that the fans got behind the team, and 32 to 18 is what that fourth quarter ended up being, and the difference comes out to 116-107. So that will do it for I also like this here, where it was like very thunder, 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 and then anybody. It could have been any of them. And the Pacers pull away there at the end. Um, but that will do it for the first time. That would be game recap with Sam from the Dang Squad. Okay, if you find this randomly uh, on Wednesday the 12th, feel free to drop a follow, subscribe. Okay. I'm on Twitch. You can see it up here. Sly13, 2 underscores. Post a lot of MLB The Show content. So drop a follow there. But this was game 3. Indiana Pacers, Oklahoma City Thunder. The 2024-2025 NBA season NBA championship finals, whatever it's called. Game 4 is on Friday, the 13th. Ooh, spooky. At Gainbridge in Indianapolis. And hopefully the Pacers can go 3-1. So with that being said, have a good night or morning or afternoon, and we'll see you guys later.